There we go. Hello, my friends. It is Jodie Harvala for 31 Days of Spirit, and we are on, day 18. Does not feel like we're on day 18, but here we are, day 18, and we're going to talk with two subjects today. Really important one. We have to talk about LEFSA, but I'm going to wait till everyone jumps on. And then we are talking about support systems too. But LEFSA, I was shocked yesterday because some people didn't know what it was. And my little Midwest mind was like, what? How do you not know that? Which, I mean, not everyone's going to know what it is, obviously, because not everyone's from the Midwest. But I'm going to explain it to you because I thought that'd be a fun little thing to talk about today before we jump into support systems. So say hello in the comments. Let me know you can hear me and see me okay. Everything reset here, so we should be good for the lives. And before I forget, I'm going to say it today. I'll try to say it all week, but I'm going to be changing my time on Thursday because my son has a school restaurant thing that I have to go to at noon. So let me just double check what my Thursday looks like. I will probably be coming on at 10 a.m. on Thursday, Central Time. Okay? 10 a.m. Thursday. Because I can't miss my kid's stuff. He's a senior and he's taking a restaurant class or a cooking class, and they're making a restaurant. So I gotta go have lunch and check out the work that the kids are doing. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all after hopefully a good weekend. I had a full weekend. We got our igloo figured out. Isn't that cool? Wasn't that fun? I'm so excited to use it. I really need some snow now because I think even snow will make it even cooler. So I think we got the heat figured out. I'm going to try it a couple times this week just to make sure, but I need to find, I want to find some cool old grandma kind of like Afghans to throw over the chairs, but I might just use some blankets that I have, but I thought that'd be so cute to match with those rag rugs. Hello, 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 friends. All right. So those of you that are on, how many don't know what LEFSA is? Because I thought that was hilarious. I've just grown up with it, so I'm seriously was just assuming. But how many don't know what LEFSA is? Kathy Jensen, you don't know what LEFSA is? Really? And Donna doesn't know it? That is so weird to me. You Midwest people need to ask your friends and families, because I would bet somebody knows what LEFSA is, and they probably make it, and you guys just need to tell them that you've never had it, and then they'll shove it at you so you can taste it. Kind of, sort of, like a crepe. Kind of, sort of. Not really, though. It's not that sweet. Amazing you guys don't know what it is. I think that's so funny. Isn't that funny? You just think something's super normal in the world, and then you're like, oh, oh, other people don't know what that is. Okay. So it's Norwegian, and actually it's I think it's a little German too, honestly. But it is, so this is what it looks like. This is fresh made on Sunday, and it is, so you can see it's pretty flexible. Okay. It's pretty thin. You can kind of see through, maybe not on camera. It's like a bread, but different. I don't know how to explain it because it's not necessarily like a tortilla, but it kind of is like a tortilla. It's a different taste though. It is made with potatoes, and you can either do it with rice potatoes. Please don't come at me when I say this, or you can use potato flakes. I don't need any fights in my comments. The original like Norwegians would not be okay with potato flakes. Some of them are though, because Grandma used to make it with potato flakes. So you can do either. You can, yeah, kind of like a potato crepe. That's probably the best way to say it, Alicia. That's super funny. And it's kind of a lot of work to do it because we had so much fun. We did it on Sunday. And oh, Kathy. So my grandma called potato dumpling shoop noodles. So I would love to try those. I haven't had those in a long time. Oh, Megan, that's cool. Scandinavian descent. You're right, Carly. Yep. So I do it more old school. I only put butter on mine. So then you put the butter on. It's really yummy when they first come out of the oven, but you could also heat it up a little bit in the microwave and stuff, and then you roll it up and then you eat it. Some people will put butter and sugar. Some people put butter, sugar, and cinnamon. And we were laughing on Sunday because two of us were like, no, you put butter on it. That's it. That's the way you eat lefse. And then the other woman that was with us, she's like, no, you got to put some sugar on it. And my dad was Norwegian, and so he would do both. But he would say the real way to do it is just butter. But he liked the sugar on it. Some people make sandwiches out of them. Some people roll up like leftovers in them. So you can do a whole bunch of stuff with them. But it's potatoes. Let me see if I can remember. Rice potatoes. I don't remember the recipe. She's sending me the recipe, so I can always post that when I get it. And we did a recipe with potato flakes, which it was really easy. It was super easy. And then you have to take the little balls of dough and you have to roll them out. And you got to be real careful because you got to get them nice and big and thin. And then you put them on these griddles and you have to flip them with this flipper thing. It was really, really fun. I've made it way back when I worked in the nursing home. We used to always have a day where we would make homemade lefse for everyone, but I hadn't made it forever. My grandma used to make it, but it was fun. We probably had about 50 sheets by the time we were done. We only made 2 batches. So we made them nice and kind of big actually, but it was really fun. So if you've never had it, ask around because I would bet someone in your town has some or will make some. It's called lefse, Lefsa. No, E. Lefse, lefse. Well, you got to try it, Megan. I also think that you need to try it a couple times because it does have a little bit different taste to it. And I remember the first time I tasted it and I was like, I don't like this. I was a kid, so I didn't like anything. But I was like, I don't know. And then as I got older, I was like, oh yeah, this is like one of my favorite little treats. So I just thought it was hilarious. You guys didn't know what it was. Isn't that funny? So yeah, I would ask around. I don't know if you guys would even be able to find it. We do have one company in town that you can Freddy's, so you can get it at the grocery store. But in some, like, you're like in Arizona and that kind of stuff, you guys probably can't even get it. And I'm not making anymore, so I'm not sending it. Yep, a lot of cinnamon, sugar, and butter. Flour, butter, and cream and potatoes. Yep. Ours had some 7-Up in it. It was Grandma's recipe, though. Yep, they have to be cold. Everything has to be cold. Oh, Chandel's making it today. Nice. Yes, you betcha. So that's so fun. So yeah, if you have a recipe you want to share, go ahead and throw it up on my wall if you want to. I tried to put some pictures that kind of showed the process of it. Yeah, I agree. It's good at the grocery store. I don't mind Freddy's, but it's definitely not as good as homemade. Yep, and you can freeze it. Yeah, crepes. Yep. Yeah, it made me miss all my grandma's Christmas cooking. She used to make all sorts of Christmas stuff for us. So I was like, oh, I wish I had all of her old recipes. Okay, so let's shift gears just a little bit. We're all going to be hungry by the time we're done. I wanted to talk about support systems that you guys have set up. That is something that I talk a lot about with my clients, whether it's through readings, mentoring, classes, retreats. What kind of support systems do you have set up for yourself? Give me a little feedback in the comments. Let me know. What and what do you consider a support system? Because that definition might need to change. What do you consider a support system, and what kind of support systems do you have for yourself? If any. Maybe some of you don't have any, which is pretty normal, unfortunately. Hold on. Waiting to see if anyone comments. What kind of support systems do you have? So when I think, let's see, really don't know. Friends and family. Dana, beautiful family, classes, community, close friends. Don't really have one. Yep. So when I was asked that many years ago, I thought it was such a it was such a strange concept to me, because I didn't really have support systems. I was a support system for a lot of people. I recognized that I was other people's support system, and I liked that. And I realized after talking through it a lot, like, I don't have one for me. I was just talking to a woman this morning, and she's a mentor for a lot of people. And I was like, I think the mentors need the support system mentors more than anyone, because we need somewhere to process all the energy that we hold for people, right? And I think a lot of people, I think everyone needs a support system of some kind. So it just depends what you need. And a lot of people won't even look at what they need. And that was something that I really struggle with too, because I was a strong, independent chick, and I'll just take care of my own shit. I don't need anyone else. I'll just do it myself. And that is that's a pretty Midwest thing, right? For women, like, we're strong, we're independent, we'll do it ourselves. No one can do it our way anyways. We'll just fucking take care of it, la la la. And then we become super resentful. We become martyrs, and we become victims. Not everybody. That was absolutely my experience for myself, and I completely did it to myself. And so when I started looking at support systems, I got I always joke that I'm kind of addicted to mine, because I have a lot. And a support system can be anything. So when my business started to grow, Eli's working a lot of hours too, and his work is really physical. We always joke, because I'm like, I'm mentally tired, he's physically tired. So together we're not super great when we need to get a project done. And one of our things that we used to fight a lot about was cleaning the house. We would fight about it all the time, because he was tired, like body tired, and I was emotionally tired. And then we had these two little boys running around, and we would just fight about it. And neither one of us do well in a messy, cluttered house, but we're both messy and we're both cluttered. And so my mentor at the time, she was like, why don't you hire someone to clean your house? She goes, really? That's a business expense for you. I don't pay rent at the time. I didn't have a lot of overhead. My business was super simple to run. And she goes, that's really going to technically be something that you can consider a business expense, because when they're cleaning your house, you can work. And I was like, I really like that justification. I'm going to do it. And so I've had someone on and off through the years clean my house. And it was the best thing I've ever done in my life for myself and my marriage, because we just stopped fighting about it. And so we'll have the person come in. And the nice thing about a cleaning person is the night before you have to clean, because the cleaning person's coming and they don't pick up, they clean. And so you have to pick up. And so it really was supportive for our house because we would pick up before she came here. So everything would get organized. She would clean, would keep the house pretty decent. And then right before they would come again is when the house would start to get kind of bad again. And so we would reorganize again. And it was just this nice cycle. So we always were keeping up. And I was like, oh my God, that is the best thing ever. That was probably one of my first support systems that I had. And letting someone come in my house. I had a client that really loved to clean and stuff. So she really helped with organizing. I love organized stuff. My brain struggles to organize it. Eli's really organized, but him and I together sometimes doing that isn't a great idea. And so I actually asked client, I was like, hey, I know you do this. She's super fun to hang out with. I was like, can you come help me with this? So that was another way that we got support. I've had a mentor for years. And that's probably my best investment because I can take anything to her. And I'm lucky because I have a really great mentor, and I really try to model my mentoring after what I've learned from her, is because it doesn't matter what I bring. There's no judgment to it. It can be anything from Eli to friends to clients to a mess to I can't figure this out or I fuck this up or whatever. So mentorship is a huge piece for me, but you got to have the right mentor. Having supportive people sometimes takes a while to find the right people. And before you find the right people, you have to realize who maybe aren't the best fits. Like, who are you often giving tons to, but you're not receiving anything back? It needs to be somewhat of an equal energy exchange. And I get in a lot of discussions with clients because they love to be of service and they're not realizing how draining it is because there's no equal energy exchange of any kind. Not just money, but they might be giving and giving and giving to people who are just taking advantage of them. That's not always the case, but sometimes it is. Or they might have friends who they always show up for, and then when they finally need something, nobody shows up for them. Like, those are the things that you start to sort through when you're starting to look at where I need support in my life. I love having, when I can do it, I love having a trainer. Love it. I had a trainer all last year, and then our schedules kind of got off because she travels and I travel a lot. And so I miss it. I'm like, oh, got to get back in that because I loved it because I'll show up. If I do it myself, I don't always show up as consistently or as strongly as I could in my workouts. So when I have someone that I need to be accountable to, I need people to be accountable to. That's super helpful, which I never really understood because I always just did it myself. But when I can be accountable to somebody, I show up in a bigger, better way, which is good. I was just doing it really unhealthy before, just because of the kind of relationships I had. And so support systems can really affect your lifestyle because I have people all over the place, right? And so when I go out in the world on all my travels, almost every place I go, there's a client or there's someone that I've known or I've worked with in the past where I can hook up with them or I can do a class or they help me put a class together or something like that. And that's so fun. Or they'll take me on a hike or they'll show me around the local places. So cool to have that kind of support system. I think it's super fun and I think it's a need. So if you could pick, let's just take the money out of it, but if you could pick what kind of support system that would be really helpful for you in the upcoming year, what would you pick? What would you pick? I'm going to read some of your comments here. Have a really close friend, my sisters. Yeah, Chris said, we're always fine. Yep. Agree. I was a caretaker, mom and dad, totally needed support and a break, but I wasn't a good asker. Yep. So hard asking for help, but I have a great group of people who just do when I don't know what I need. Yeah. And sometimes that's hard to understand what you actually need. You know, that's something that I hear from a lot of people when like right after like a spouse has died or something, everyone's like, oh, what do you need? What can I do for you? They're like, I don't know if I can know. Just do it. I don't know. Just bring me shit. I don't know. It's really hard to try to figure out what you actually need because you're just trying to feel your feels. Mentor, chiropractor, I have that. Reiki master, massage therapist. Yep, I have all of those. Yeah. Yep. Like you said, my daughters get me and I can discuss things with them. But as I'm taking your classes, I'm realizing I would like to have someone else. Yeah, I think it's great to talk to your kids about everything that you guys are open to talking about. But I also think it's nice to have your own person, your own thing. Someone help you organize your house. Oh, that's awesome, Mary. See, I did this too. I'm in a class and doing a weekly call on my finances, and it's been a great awareness for me to be accountable. Yep, I have an amazing accountant. That was my second big investment, was to get an accountant that actually knew what they were doing. So I'm going to rephrase this for you, hun. So she says, I have a very hard time letting anyone know what I'm going through. I can't ask for help. You can. You're just not. You can. And sometimes if it's too hard to talk to people, talk to your spirit guides and your angels and your spirit team. Sometimes that's where you start. That's where I started. I was like, okay, like that's where that parking angels came from, because I was like, all right, I'm gonna ask for help, but it's gonna be something simple and kind of dumb. And I continually started asking my angels for help. So you can, you're just not doing it. Someone said, I have a friend and we make a point of getting together once a week. She's the only one that can get me to think. One-on-one coaching. I'm a fan of mentoring and coaching. House cleaner, one-on-one coaching, trainer, massage. Vicky said, I would select self-care. House cleaner, masseuse would be awesome. I would not give up my counselor and keep up with the mentoring. A cleaning person, oh my gosh, it's the best thing in the world. And it does. It sucks when you have to find a new one. It's awful, isn't it? House cleaner. Someone to help me organize. And you guys might be you guys might be surprised. Oh, a healthy babysitter. I understand that. I totally get that one. You might be surprised, some of your friends, like my friend, she gets off on organizing. Like, we used to giggle because I would send her a picture of my closet and I'd call it closet porn, like the before and the afters. And she loves to organize, loves it. And then there was things that I was good at that I could do for her. So it was nice to have a little bit of a trade, or if you can afford it, to, just pay her. But there's a lot of people that are willing to trade for things when you first get started and stuff. Sometimes you got to do trade. Just make sure it's an equal energy exchange. Yeah, healthy babysitters. I really struggled. And one thing that I learned, this is something I learned, is when I would get babysitters for things, I had this innate guilt of leaving my kids and putting more stress on Eli, because like I said, he's got a really hard job. And so I would have this guilt about leaving, especially if it was something good for me or something just for me or something I spent money on myself or something I invested in a class or something. And so I would self-sabotage by creating all of this energy around it. And then things would go sideways. My babysitter would get sick. My kids would get sick. I would get sick, over and over and over, until I realized I was feeling guilty about what I was doing. And it could be a simple thing like going to a movie, or a bigger thing like going on a trip. I can't tell you how many trips I went on when I first started to travel, where I would need to leave the kids and somebody always was sick. And I really feel like it was a self-punishment to myself. It's like I created that experience, drove me crazy, till I figured out that I was feeling guilty for taking care of myself. And once I started to shift that a little bit, kids get sick, but it was every single time. Like, there was a definite cycle to it. And so when I cleaned that up and realized that it was okay for me to get away from my kids, that stopped happening. And then most of my trips these days, they're so smooth. We've had a couple little bumps here and there, but very seldom does that happen anymore, which is nice. Hello. Okay, so let me ask a new question. So I know what you guys would like to have. What kind of self-care do you know you need? What kind of self-care do you know you need? What kind of support system do you know would change your life? Yep. Well, he's similar to me, Kim, so that's not shocking to me because I would too. Yep. Meditation and alone time, accountability. Yep. What do you know you need? Some of you might need counseling. Some of you might need therapy. Some of you might need medical support. Some of you might need coaching or mentoring. Some of you might need time alone. I'm seeing that a lot. Some of you might need to commit to yourself to actually do something. That was hard for me, just to show up enough to do something consistently. Oh my God, what do you mean? Every day? Like what? What? Why would I do it every day? Um, Meditation was my very first thing that I remember that I would show up for myself every day without any excuses. It was non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Um, and then journaling became that. And then mentoring. I think I must have gone 2 or 3 years without ever missing a mentoring call. I don't think I ever missed one in at least 3 years when I first started, or group mentoring or things like that. It was awesome. And those are the things when I start to feel like I need something, I really do some deep questioning, like what would actually change my life this year if I showed up consistently? What kind of accountability would be good for me this year that would change my life in some way, that would enhance it in some way? Okay. An organizer. Yeah, sometimes it is. It's just nice to have some people help you. Cleaner for just the shower and tubs. Yep, they can do that. There's companies that do that. Slowing down, quieting your mind, best gift you can give yourself. Food and exercise coach. Yep. Time out. Getting outside for sure. Yeah, that was a big deal for me last year. I was so guided to go to the national parks all summer. Um, I had not felt that pull. I always feel pulled to travel because it's fun, but it was so amazing. Journaling, an organizer. That was really helpful to me because I knew how I wanted my house to feel. But I really struggle with organizing. I can do parts of it, or if I'm in a good space to do it. But somebody else's eye that's actually better. Like I remember our closet. This is such a funny story. So we have 2 closets in our house. We have old house. So we have shit for storage. And the bathroom closet is kind of my closet. And then it's the bathroom closet. And it's just kind of where we store a bunch of stuff. And I just looked at it one day and I was just like, Eli, I really need help figuring out this closet. Like it's not working. I hate it. It irritates me every day. Like I'm anxious every day just walking and looking at this stupid closet. I just hate it. And he just looked at it and he looked at me. He's like, all right, I'll build you a rock star closet. And he spent the whole weekend redoing my closet for me. And he didn't think twice about it. Like I said, he's very handy. And I just love my closet. Right now, I was laughing the other day. I was like, I really need like Danny to come over and organize this closet. It's out of hand. And he's like, well, yeah, you don't know how to keep it up. So I think it's at different times you need different people to come help you with different things, and just know that that's okay. There's a lot of freedom in that piece. Accountability. So I start showing up for myself more consistently. Private mentoring is really good for that, sister. Consistency is tough. I struggle with that, not as much as I used to, but that's why I've created those support teams. Beautiful. Nature, quiet time, show up for me. How many of you, this is popping in my head, how many of you would be interested in a group? I haven't done one for a while. Group mentoring after the new year. How many of you would be open for that? Oh, that's cool, Mary. Food mentorship I'm going to do. I love that. Mentor that will help stop me quitting on myself. I know somebody. I know not everyone can afford the private mentoring, but how many of you would be open for a group mentoring? I've done group mentoring for years. I did group mentoring. So a lot of times I'll put a group together, and there's a cost to it, but you meet every week or every other week. I just have to look at my books, and you all pick a subject, and it's a lot of education. It's really nice because when someone's talking, you're going, oh, that's me. I do that too. And then when you come up with solutions for them, you're coming up with solutions for you. And so you get this whole momentum going in the group. And I loved group mentoring. Love it. I think I love taking it. Like I love being part of group mentoring, but I also love to have groups of group mentoring. I didn't do a lot of it last year because I was just traveling so much. So I did more of the personal, but let me put a little thing together. Okay. There's a lot of you. Okay. Let me put a thing together and I will get that out to all of you. Let me put that together. It's just coming in that might be time to do it again because it'd be really fun to start it in the new year and then work with you ladies through that spring fun energy. I love to do group mentoring in the spring. Love it. I love it in the winter because you can dig into all the stuff. And then in the spring, you can go out and you have all this growth and experience and all the stuff that comes up. It's so funny. So mentoring depends. So great question, Sandy's like, what is mentoring? So for me, so let me start with group mentoring. So when I did group mentoring, it was for us, it was some personal stuff and some business stuff. And when I first started in it, I really did a lot of personal stuff. I just struggled with myself, quite honestly. And I didn't know myself and I didn't know all that kind of stuff at the moment, like how to do my mindset work and how to see my stories and my habits and how I self-sabotage. And so a lot of group mentoring is walking through some of those pieces. Just so you can get a little bit different perspective. I think group mentoring or private mentoring is a lot about seeing something through a different perspective. I can't tell you how many times my mentor would be saying something and I'd be like, I have never thought of it that way. Never thought of it that way. So it gives you a bigger picture of what's going on. And it also helps to walk through different solutions, which I only have the tools that I have. And so group mentoring put me into the space where I had so many other tools because this person would do it this way and this person would do it this way and this person would do it this way. And then I had all these tools that I could try and see which ones will work best for me. It also helped because I needed to be accountable. And so we would get homework every month. And I've done both where sometimes the whole group gets the same homework. And then sometimes the mentor would be like, yeah, you need to do this. And it's like, okay, that's good homework for me because it also taught me how to show up for myself. So like me doing my daily journaling, that was something that I came up with between me and my private mentor. Because I know when I write things out and journal it out, I feel better. I don't have pain in my body. My mind is more peaceful. I sleep better. Like there's a million reasons why I do my journaling. And I said, I really need to do this every day. Can I send it to you? And I said, you don't need to do anything with it. I just know that if you're not seeing it, you're going to call me on it. And she's like, yeah, you're just learning how to show up for yourself. I didn't even know that's what I was doing. And so mentoring is something to help you see yourself in a little bit different light. And I think it's one of the best things you can do to grow into your power and grow into your consistency and grow into who you really want to be. Because I think we get stuck. I think we know ourselves and we just keep doing what we've always done because that's what we know. And I realized I was very sheltered. I was like, I wouldn't think about doing any of this kind of stuff. Like it just doesn't come into my mind. And I even remember when my mentor was taking people on a cruise, and she reached out and she's like, "Hey, are you guys considering going on this cruise?" And I was like, we don't do that. Like we don't do that kind of stuff. But we don't travel like we go to the farm and we go to the lake. Like we don't do cruises." And I was like, "Eli, like she wants to know if we're gonna go on this cruise. Isn't that funny?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't think we do stuff like that." And I was like, "Why not? Why don't we do stuff like that?" And we had this conversation that we've always wanted bigger lives. And so we need to hang out with people that have bigger lives. And it doesn't mean better lives. It just meant we knew we wanted to do some different things with our lives. We needed to hang out with people that we loved that do those things so we can learn how to do those things. So I think it helps you to have someone that's had more experience in different places and can support you into stepping into some of that stuff that you wouldn't think about. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Mary, I don't know. Maybe we'll do it this spring. I don't have it on my books yet. I'm not sure. Okay, Anne. Might like to try it. Selma said, yes, figuring out myself. I've always given to others. Recently started to realize I was feeling as if I didn't count. That's a big one. Working on self is what I'm focused on. And the nice thing about when you start working on yourself, you have so much more energy to support others if you choose to, not if you're obligated to, if you choose to. Think about that. If you choose to. Okay. Yeah, everyone does that. Alyssa, she's like, so stuck. I get in my own circles. Yeah, it's super funny too, because when I started to figure out my cycles of different things that I did, and then so first I had to be aware of them. And then after a while, I was catching myself doing them. I was like, oh my God, I did it again. I did it again. And then I could be like, okay, I did it again. Now this is what I normally would do. So now I'm going to try to do this instead. So it helped me not feel stuck all the time. I hate that feeling, right? It's such an icky feeling. And we're never stuck because energy is always moving, right? But you feel stuck. And so the support systems and the mentoring and all of that, so good, you guys. It's so, so, so good. Yep, you got to catch your circles. And I still spin out. Like there's definitely times, like there's certain subjects that when they come up, my husband's like, oh God, here she goes again. Oh no, oh no. But it's just one of my trigger subjects. And I have a lot of passion behind my shit. So it helps to alleviate some of that kind of stuff. If you choose to is such a powerful phrase, and it helps you understand your own power. Yeah, because you don't want to be obligated to do your life. You want to be able to choose. I was just writing about this. So we're redoing this is something I want to mention too. We're redoing our group moon clearings that we do on the full moon group clearings. And we're adding a bunch of great information to it. And if you are thinking about that, sign up now because the price goes up in January. And we're adding a bunch of value to it. But I was just writing about obligation versus a choice. And so many of us do stuff because you feel obligated, which is really just you feeling guilty. Like I feel guilty if I don't do it. So I feel obligated. So I need to go do it. And that can be a lot with family stuff. It can be with holidays. It can be with all that kind of stuff. And I really got more into this space of choosing. Like if I choose to go do something because it's my choice, then it's my choice. And I'm choosing to be in that environment. But I'm not doing it out of obligation. I can't remember the last time I did something because I felt obligated. I just don't. I might think about it for a while and then decide All right. Is that something that I'm going to regret doing? Is it something that's going to sit in my brain? Like, let me sit with it. And then if I choose, then I choose. Okay? All right, perfect, my friends. Oh, good, Anne. Great. You'll love it. The full moon group clearing, great baby step for you guys. The full moon group clearing is on or around the full moon every single month. We are going starting in January full moon. We've added some extra information. We've added some tools to help you stay focused for the month. We've added some spiritual led moon homework. We've added some information and some education, and so it's going to be a really nice, active, little bit of a mentoring group because we do some of that. But it's also a great place to learn how to manage your energy and clear it because you guys don't do that enough. Our next one for that is on Tuesday, the 26th. So the day after Christmas. So some of you might need the clearing, right? Let me grab that link for you real quick. While I'm thinking of it, let me grab it. Hold on. Hold on, friends. Because we have the current pricing, which will save you a lot. I mean, it's not crazy expensive, but save yourself a few bucks. Get in on it now. If you're in on it now, the price will not go up for you. You'll stay at the price that you sign up for. If you step out of it and come back in, then it'll change. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna find my links. Okay. You can also find this on our celebration page on the website. There you go. Okay. Any question for today on Lefsa? Because we talked about Lefsa. On any of the mentoring stuff? Anything on obligation, like anything we talked about today? Tomorrow, let me see what we're chatting about tomorrow for y'all. Let's see. Oh, tomorrow we're going to talk about journaling and burning. I know so many of you love to journal. If you really hate to journal, you should also show up. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions come in. So, yeah, it's nice to do, Alyssa, for sure. Okay, friends. So if you need support, you want to talk about, if you want to talk about private mentoring or you want to see spirit trails, it is on my website. You can always look at that. You can always reach out. So if you want private mentoring, make sure you reach out because I only have so many of those packages that I do each quarter. And so January, we start a new quarter. I will put together some ideas for group mentoring. Let me sit with that a little bit and see how it feels. And I'll put some stuff together and we will go from there. And then if there's anything else I can support you with, we'll just keep talking. But yep, tomorrow, we're going to journal. I love this. I hate to journal. Show up. We'll talk about that. And then Carla goes, yeah, I love the burning the best. Me too. I love the burning piece. Okay, friends, have a good Monday. I will see you soon. The winter solstice is on Thursday. Remember, we're going to go a little earlier that day at 10 a.m. because I'm going to be with my son. But we'll talk about the winter solstice. And if you are considering doing a clearing or personal clearing, make sure you check your emails this week because we put a little special together for you guys if you're guided. Beautiful energy to do clearing work, saging your houses, things like that. So we'll talk more about that on Thursday, but that's coming up. So you're going to feel the energy this week. So keep an eye out for it. Okay. All right, friends. Have a good day. See ya.